Hi, my name is David. Welcome to another episode of Changing Times. Our guest is Molly Morrison. She owns a marketing company, a party entertainment company, and supports entrepreneurs with building their business. Please enjoy and stay safe. Hi, Molly. How's everything going?
Hiya, I'm good. I'm good. I'm doing some work in a proper office at the moment, so I feel quite human. I've just started this week with another client, and I've just snuck out of the office to do this.
Oh, we'll stay quiet then. So, for everyone that's watching, tell everyone who you are, what's your business, and what's your profession.
I'm Molly Morrison. I have a company called Molly Morrison Marketing. Off the back of that company, I run, like yourself, an events company. I've got a children's party hire business. I do business with a company in Nairobi who normally make leather handbags. Currently, I'm making face masks. So that's going to be new. And I work for a charity called Shared Enterprise, which we aim to empower people to become entrepreneurs. So we run networking groups and business masterclasses. So I'm quite busy.
It's very busy, so obviously all that doesn't stop. How has the pandemic and lockdown affected you before you were able to go back into the office?
Well, like yourself, David, we locked down early. My daughter was exposed to the virus at school. So about 3 weeks before the official lockdown, we got a phone call from the NHS to say that we had to stay in our house and wait for people to come and swab my daughter. And we had to wait for the negative results. She was negative, which was wonderful. But we experienced the lockdown before everybody else. And it was really strange, actually. It was a really strange experience because there was coronavirus in the news. But I believe that my daughter's contact, her friend that she sits next to at school, he was only the 7th person in London that had it. So we were really sort of involved with the crisis really quite early on. And because me and my husband, we've got 4 daughters, 2 of them have got special needs, and we run the party company together, which is generally, it's the Kingston Party Company, www.thekingstonpartycompany.co.uk. My husband's the DJ operations manager and sound engineer, and I do the marketing and admin for the business. We had been doing really well. We set up about 2 years ago. We were flying really. December, we had something like 32 bookings. Then what we were very surprised by was in January, we also had loads and loads of bookings. And then in February, we had loads and loads of bookings. And then in March, we had every booking for the whole year cancelled all at once. So that was a bit of a spanner in the works. I'm very lucky because I've retained the charity contract. So because I'm diverse, and I would recommend this to other entrepreneurs, I know people say to me all the time, well, you do too much. But actually what I've got is different sources of revenue. Yeah. So I might, in 1 week, book 3 DJs to do DJ Mobile Disco, do 2 days working at the charity, then I might sell 4 handbags that week, and I have very luckily set myself up so I had multiple streams of income, because if the events company was just events, I think we would have had to fold. And luckily my other clients, I'm able to still keep my premises and keep my warehouse, still able to pay the costs on the business. So I feel incredibly fortunate and incredibly blessed that the business, the event side of the business, is on hold. It's not ruined. It's not the end. We just have to wait now.
And like you said, it's about that versatility and adaptability of having them different businesses, because you can adapt to the marketing to home and being on the laptop or on Zoom calls like this to keep communication.
Yeah.
Have you found the marketing side being affected by it all, or has it been the reverse?
Well, I'm so lucky because I work for this charity shared enterprise, and they're fully funded by the National Lottery Community Fund. I'll give details at the end of the video, and hopefully we can put it in the blurb of the video if anybody watching would actually want to join, because it's a completely free business networking service, and I provide one-to-one marketing assistance to our members. A lot of startups just don't have the budget for a marketing person. We provide marketing, accounts, help with business plans, we help people to get off of benefits. So from that point of view, I've been really, really busy Zooming, supporting my clients. It's really diverse and it is brilliant. So the huge bit of luck is that actually the community fund pay for me to deal with those clients. So I've been able to work from home. We've run the club immediately. We switched over to Zoom, and we've run the club every Tuesday ever since. And I've been doing one-to-ones most days with clients from that. And then, as you can sort of see behind me, I'm in a real life office now. And I was very, very, very lucky. I've managed to get more work from a place called CS Insights, Corporate Solutions, which is incredibly varied. They've got lots of different projects on. And actually, I'm doing similar to what I do for the charity, only doing it for other businesses. And obviously, this is a private company. And I'm actually finding it really interesting. Like I'm learning about mortgages and finance and things that I haven't. I know more about DJs and nightclubs and handbags. So this is all a bit serious, but it's actually really, really interesting.
Yeah.
And I just kept positive the whole way through. Really, I've just started this yesterday. It's going really, really well. I just kept positive throughout. I really stuck to that 1 hour's exercise a day outdoors, even though I had to be really, really careful about going outside. We've had the 4 kids at home supposedly being homeschooled, but what I've had to do is just shut myself away in the bedroom to work most afternoons. But I think I'm quite pleased that I've managed to keep my mental health quite good.
Yeah.
And I think I've learned a lot from the experience of being in lockdown. What I think I've learned really is to just massively appreciate what I have already.
That was the next really was, have you had time to reflect on everything, like to the businesses that you built, the lifestyle, the family, and have you been able to plan for the future? Obviously, you've got new clients now. You keep building your portfolio.
Yeah.
Have you been able to plan and go, right, I enjoyed having that more time with the family that I didn't have, and you might just like put that into practice in the future?
I think I have really massively enjoyed having more time and doing slightly less work, because I was only doing a few hours a day for the charity. It's a bit unfortunate that I know I am facing working sort of more than full time now.
Yeah.
And it's been really, really lovely to work less, but this is my passion, I suppose. And I think I've really, really, really appreciated the time and really appreciated being at home.
Yeah.
I now really, really appreciate that I've got more work and I'm able to get out of the house. So I'll make the best of it. It's difficult because I think I have learned that I definitely like working a bit less. But unfortunately, my bills haven't learned that. And I have to crack on. So
I'm sure obviously the kids understand that everything that you're doing is for them. inevitably for their future. And as far as obviously you said about your daughter and being in contact with someone that had it at the very beginning, because by the sound of it, it was when it wasn't really a big thing in the news and it wasn't out there as much. How was that for you and the family to cope with, because you didn't have that immediate, oh my God, I know what it is and stuff?
It's been an absolutely bizarre experience. So we had to quarantine inside the house. I think people around us thought that we were maybe attention seeking or exaggerating. Um, we were met with a lot of kind of disbelief,
Yeah.
because we had to cancel. Both of us had to cancel work. We had to find other people to cover up for us, and we had to take all of the children out of school, even though it was only one of them that had been affected. And I think what was really painful was that in that week I did quite a lot of research into what was going on. I did a lot of looking at the news in Italy, and I have friends that are scientists, and a lot of my friends are nurses, NHS nurses. And it was painful that it was so obvious that we needed to lock down. And it was painful to see that that didn't happen in time, and that I think a lot of lives could have been saved if they'd have done the lockdown a few weeks early. I think if I'm a sort of mum just in my house and I figured that out, I'm not sure why the government didn't figure it out. I suppose because they wanted to keep business going. And what I feel is that maybe three-week lockdown at the start, when our family first locked down, I think we might have done a much better job of containing the virus. And it was actually really, really frustrating to watch that play out.
Yeah.
And from the point of view of business, and I mean the economy as a whole, but also the economy of my own household and my own company, I believe the industry would have recovered much faster if we'd have had an earlier lockdown.
So that's it, and that's what it's all seemed to be about at the moment, isn't it? Is to re-energise the economy and do what's right, or what they think is right for the country. But as far as your mental health and your positivity, and can you take positives from the experience that you've experienced in lockdown with the business still going on and having to adapt it a little bit? Can you take anything from it?
Two things. One thing being, I am very proud of myself, and I know it's a lot of people, it's been beyond their control, but I am very proud of myself that I've managed to continue working with all the kids at home, and with everything being so kind of strange, and switching the way I work onto Zoom. But I am really proud of myself, and a lot of connections and a lot of networking has been going on because people have had more time. It's built bonds and stuff. And on a personal level, I'm very grateful for having the experience to grow and really go back to basics on what makes me feel well and what makes me happy. So I've got quite a strict regime for my own mental health. I wake up in the morning, I try to meditate for 5 minutes, and then I do a list of 10 things that I'm grateful for that day and have my coffee, and then I'm ready for the day. But also, I would always say I'm so active anyway, I'm always running around, but I've been doing proper exercise classes, cycling, badminton, kayaking, and I found that my mental health has actually been better in lockdown than it is generally. I suffer with anxiety a lot. So what I've taken from it is that it is so important that I stick to this exercise, and routines are incredibly important to me as well. And when I've got so many projects at once, it's easy to just get so busy and so stressed. So I think moving forward, I will be prioritizing resting, prioritizing spending time with my children, actual my full attention time. And I don't have to get rich, or I don't have to be the best businesswoman in London. I can actually take it a bit more easy and do things and pace myself, because really if even if I'm doing really well and the money's really good and I'm doing like really exciting sort of fashion shows or big events, if I feel really anxious, I don't enjoy any of it. So it sort of makes it pointless. We've had much less money as well, like most people, but we've actually spent so much less that has been really an eye-opener, that we don't need to constantly buy takeaways and new clothes, and there's a huge amount of wastage of money going on just purely because everything's so accessible. You've always got your debit card, your credit card in your hand, everything's touch to pay, and it's been an eye-opener how much I actually just waste on, say, getting coffees from Costa and buying things that I don't need, because we've been perfectly fine with less money.
But that's it, and it's been, I think a lot of people have reflected the same, and we don't need the grand picture, and it's gone back to basics, and I think that's the way it always was, but people were just too busy to actually see. And I think that's been the positive of lockdown, hasn't it? That people have been able to strip back everything that's about them or what they thought was about them and realise what was more important.
Mm-hmm.
So for everyone that's watching and they want to get involved with the charity work and obviously with learn more about how you can help them with marketing and the parties, where can they find you? What social media platforms and everything that they can find you on?
I'm on Instagram. I'm Molly Mull, one word, so instagram.com/Molly Mull. I've got a website for the party company. It's www.thekingtonpartycompany.co.uk. And the website for the charity is www.sharedenterprisekingston.org.uk. If you want to give me a follow on Instagram, I cover kind of everything. There's the odd sort of picture of my home life or whatever, but I do put a lot of my work up there and I can be contacted that way. My website is under construction at the moment. So my email address is mollymorrisonmarketing@yahoo.co.uk. I cover everything really. I do digital and SEO. I do graphic design and print. I am a fierce networker. I'm very good at face-to-face sales. I hire myself out to events to sell, actually. And I can do full branding solutions. I'm sure I'm forgetting things out, and copywriting as well. I was a journalist, so I do a fair bit of copywriting and public relations. So I'm quite diverse, really.
Very diverse, but that's what's kept you going, and that's what the adaptability and being able to adapt, and that's incredible.
I've felt over the past few months that every single thing I've been through in my whole life, so every fall, every knock, everything has helped to prepare me for this time.
No, that's incredible, and I want to thank you for coming on and sharing your story, because it is, I think it's very inspirational, and it gives that message to, you don't have to be one thing, you can have multiple things to get to, which all complement each other.
Yeah, and I think the things that I've taken away from it is like working hard for years is paid off. And I think when you're an entrepreneur, you've got your own business. Sometimes you put a lot of energy into one thing that doesn't really pay off. But the experience is just completely priceless, and every mistake that you make is a lesson. I know that sounds really, really cliched, but I've actually got to a point now where if I try something and it goes wrong, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I know not to do that again.
Yeah.
It's been a massive learning experience, full of sort of reflection. It's been amazing as well not to have so much distraction, say not to be maybe stressed and then go for dinner and go out and, you know, buy things.
Yeah.
It's been a real chance to really sit with my own feelings and be really in touch with how I am. Am I okay? And the answer has generally been, yeah, I've been all right.
No, that's brilliant, and you keep going and doing the positive things that you're doing, and I'm sure it'll get better and with strength by strength.
I'm not even, you know, I'm not projecting into the future at all. I can't. No, we just don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what our new normal is going to be like. So I'm keeping things in the day, putting one foot in front of the other, and just having a bit of faith that if I do the right things, then the right things will happen.
No, that's great, and thank you again for being a part of Changing Times.
Thank you so much. I was so excited when you asked me, and I can't wait to see the finished product. I think it's such a great project to do.
No, it's a great platform for people to share and for people to listen to other industry professionals and individuals. It's not all business owners, and I thank you for giving your time and to share your story.
Thank you so much, David. I better go. I've snuck out of the office to do this, so I better go back in.
Yeah, no, that's fine, and thank you again, and we'll speak soon.
Thank you so much.